How's it going, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of the show called Joey Answers Your Questions, the show. It's another late night episode, and I'm actually starting to like doing these late at night. It's a vibe. I'm a little special brand of cuckoo late at night.
Just went a little cuckoo in the head.
My brain doesn't work properly, and it makes for better content. So, in this episode, we're going to be answering your questions as per usual, but first, let's check out the subreddit as per tradition.
Tradition!
Mark Zuckerberg, is that you?
Is that you?
Oh my gosh, look at that hairline. Who found this? This is from my SoundCloud. This is from my ancient SoundCloud. This is ridiculous. Okay, nice work for finding my SoundCloud. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, just so it's better for the editor. I forget his name.
My name is Jeff.
I found another egg. Chill Sunday morning. Snapchat. Palm tree fruit. Oh yeah, he does have a rather egg-shaped head. How dare he? I hope you appreciate the effort, Joey. It's from the Epic Coral. Me after upvoting every meme I see on the sub, trying my best to revive it. It ain't much, but it's honest work. That's good. Holy fuck, what's that? Let's just not comment on this.
It's beautiful.
What are the comments on this? What the fuck? Yeah. He evolved. Peak performance right there. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could. They didn't stop to think if they should. Jelly Belly, this is the ideal male body. Why not being half horse is ruining your life. Nah, man. Yeah, I'm definitely part of the nah, man crowd. It's too far. Science has gone way too far. We don't need that shit in our lives. No, that has nothing to do with myself. Me, unselfishly. The people carrying the sub should get the course for free. Change my mind. You know what? We'll consider it. Skillshare is called. They want their money back. Joey, I'll put the course on a quality website, not on Skillshare like every other YouTuber. Also, Joey, today's video has been sponsored by Skillshare. Joey, you know I'm something of a hypocrite myself. That's good. You know what? Skillshare just pays too much money to just insert a nice little ad at the end of my video. But one of these days, it's gonna be my own ad. It's gonna be, this video is sponsored by me. The Better Ideas Epic Procrastination course. Sign up today, and if you've been carrying the subreddit, you get in for free. I can't wait to do that. I think I already, yeah. Yeah, that's Daniel in the background if you didn't hear.
What the frick was that?
Oh, damn. Look.
Sorry.
Holy, that's actually so unreal. I already clicked on this earlier today and I forgot about it. But this should definitely be the banner. This is posted by Yetrobog. This should definitely be the banner of r/better ideas. However, I didn't put it as the banner. It's in my power to make it the banner, but unfortunately, look at how thin the banner of Reddit is. Like that, I would Google what the banner size or banner dimensions for Reddit is and just remake this in that dimension. And if you do that and post it on here, then I will I'll put it as the banner because that's kind of hilarious. It's memey and that's what we want. That's Hitman for anybody who doesn't understand the reference. All right, now we're gonna hop into your questions. Cleedor Football says, Joey is the voice of reason of hope for most of the people who watch him. Also, Joey, I am descending into madness. Yes, 1 second, I need water. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Yes, I'm descending into madness. I forget where I was going with that. Vova Daikun says, yeah, these videos are already like podcast, only that there are many memes on screen, so for full experience, you need to be watching. And then Lindsay says, that's a complicated way of saying this is a YouTube video. Pretty funny, guys. Good banter going on in the comment section. We all like a little banter. Bearded Gamer says, listens to Atomic Habits. Pictures Joey narrating the whole time. That's what you should be doing. Any audiobook that you read, just imagine that whoever's voice you're hearing is actually me with a voice changer. Okay, let's actually hop into some actual questions here. Ari says, question, you get to choose the smell of your farts. Wow, I didn't see that coming. But you can't choose smells like nothing. What smell do you choose? Axe body spray, like my 16-year-old self would absolutely love. It was like not even 16. That was earlier than that. Probably my 13-year-old self. Axe Apollo. Or my 16-year-old self would, his answer would be Old Spice Fiji. I used to slather that stuff all over my body. I was slippery like a slug. Thought it would attract the ladies. I was part of this like dance summer workshop every single summer, and I would cover myself since I would be like in contact with women.
Girls.
I would slather myself in not Axe but Old Spice, just to like have this protective shield so that they couldn't smell any ounce of sweat on me. And I thought it was like the best call ever. I thought it was being super smooth. I don't think it really helped my prospects whatsoever. I was very awkward and didn't get out much whatsoever. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Old Spice isn't the worst smell, but it's definitely that. It's got that 16-year-old kid smell. Demetrio says baked bread. Everybody loves the smell of baked bread, and it's fitting when your buns are roasting. Good call. Ari says, this, yes. Wow, thank you for responding. I did not think that far out of the box when I asked this question. I got as far as lavender and moved on with my day. Baked bread is such a good answer. Bless your heart. Well, I'm just glad that this question is providing so much happiness. And Demetrios is definitely thinking outside the box, but inside the buns. Justin Lamb says, I love the diversity of ideas on the second channel. I like how it's lighthearted and enjoyable, while also discussing more serious topics in a raw and less edited format. Keep it up, man. Almost at 15K. Thank you, Justin. Unfortunately, it's not a question. Seems to be a question. Your videos, similar to most of well-produced YouTube videos, are narrated in this smooth way. Every sentence flows nicely into the next one. You repeat some things multiple times to put emphasis on them, but every time using different wordings. Can I learn this skill? Would you recommend any book or course on this topic? You can absolutely learn the skill of talking smoothly into the microphone. However, I would not learn this skill for me because I'm definitely not that great at it. I appreciate the compliments though, and I don't know of any courses or books that you can read on the topic, but I know for a fact that there are so many. Public speaking classes. I know that Toastmasters is a thing. A lot of people get together to practice public speaking. If you really want to work on the skill of talking ad lib, I would honestly just set up a camera regularly and try to talk about your thoughts in a vlog type of fashion. That way you get really good at just sort of putting whatever's in your brain out of your mouth, squeezing out the brain juice out of your mouth hole. You get better at it. You can't get like 10 out of 10 perfect if you just don't have it in you. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it seems to be true with me because I've been doing this for a long time and I still stumble over my words all the time. But yeah, just practice makes perfect. It's a cliche answer, but you really do have to just get in the practice of doing it every single day. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to get better at verbal flow overnight. And you might not get good at it at all if you're like me. Greg F says, you order books by genre, starting simple, biography, fiction, non-fiction, poetry, reference, etc., then by author. This is a good start. Subdivide by all means after you done this basic sift. Oh, he was talking about the Reddit post from the last video. I was very confused there for a second.
What are you talking about?
I didn't know how I was going to answer that, and I had the wheels turning, trying to figure out how I was going to answer that very complicated question, which was basically just a list of different genres. I thought it was just like some cryptic question that I should know the answer to. Significandy says this channel with this edit are so entertaining and also have so good advice. Perfect for relaxing. Question. Can you do a handstand? And if yes, how long have you trained for it? I cannot do a handstand, and I have not trained for it at all. Thank you for your question. Kevin Berger says, hey Joey, I'm a beginner filmmaker and I've been struggling a lot to find actors/crew to collaborate and make short films with. I come from a small town where not a lot of people are interested in film. Any advice on how to find people near you that are passionate to make films? How do you find people to make things within a time where people distance themselves from the world? Excellent question, Kevin. I don't know what age you are or how old you are or how many years you have left to live. I don't know why I went there. That was pretty dark. But I would... I'm like laughing at my own jokes. It's that time of the night. Okay. Keep it together. I don't know how old you are, but do you live near a university? If you live near a university, that's prime real estate.
It's free real estate.
I know that drama students really like to be in front of the camera, and they even like making films sometimes in terms of like being behind the camera or on a crew, because I know drama students like being part of the crew as well. They do that a lot. It's what I did, but I went to the university, right? Like I was part of these media and communication classes, and then there's also drama students there. I know a lot of universities, they have Facebook pages and stuff like that, and you can definitely make a post on each group or faculty's Facebook page and be like, hey, I'm making a short film, I'm looking for actors. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, just find like the specific faculties, or even just like look at Facebook groups. I'm not a huge fan of Facebook, but there's Facebook groups for everything in most areas, and you can look at like your town plus drama or your town plus filmmaker, and really just pry, ask questions, be like, really honest with people. Hey, I'm making a short film, would love someone to help me develop it. And you'd be surprised how many people are just craving creativity and craving somebody to just get the ball rolling. And there's a lot of people who are really likely and excited to hop on a project. As long as you come to the table with something already kind of established, you're not like, hey, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Develop a script on your own, or at least the shell, and develop a structure, have a good idea of like the tone that you want to do, and then start pitching it to people and be like, hey, this is kind of unfinished product. Here's my ideas, and who wants to come along? That's my idea. I don't know if it's a better idea. It's a worse idea, or maybe it's like an average mediocre idea. 5 out of 10 idea. Natalie says, missed Daniel in this episode. It was something like a tradition. It was. He's kind of in the background. If you hear excessive clicking, it's because he's playing Valheim in the background. And then sometimes he talks, and then I look in his direction, and it's because I'm kind of giving him the stink eye. But
sorry. Yeah,
he's kind of in this in spirit, I guess. Tora plays guitar. What do you think about your videos being translated and re-uploaded with Russian dubs on YouTube? I mean, I'm not the one doing it. Just asking if you're aware of this. Yeah, I'm fully aware of it, and they didn't have my permission to do it, but at the same time, I don't really care too much. Don't quote me on that. It's technically like a copyright violation, potentially. But at the same time, though, my messages aren't really reaching the Russian-speaking population, and I see it kind of as a win-win. It's only a lose-win if I'm being greedy about it. It gets into muddy territory. Like if someone's using my stuff and reproducing it, it's not really greedy if I want them to stop because it's my intellectual property. But at the same time, though, I currently have no intention to make a Russian channel myself. So the fact that there are Russian people coming to my channel who wouldn't otherwise come to my main channel through these re-uploads that are in Russian, it's kind of a win-win from a business perspective, a little bit, just because I have no intention of making a Russian channel. So it's just like a free window into my channel. And I like the fact that, I'm starting to develop a Russian-based audience. I don't really care that much. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Demetrios. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
But he says, films with the best cinematography? Blade Runner 2049 may be #1 for me. Because Roger Deakins is the GOAT, but I need more. And more poems, please. Sure, yeah, I'll try to hit you with another poem. Maybe not at the end of this one. That one was so good, I just need to recharge my batteries and get my creative juices flowing and replenished. But I totally agree with you. It's tough from a hipster perspective. It sounds like if Blade Runner 2049 is your favorite movie cinematography-wise of all time, there's like a little bit of resistance to me saying that just because it's so recent. But at the same time, though, it's so good. The cinematography is so good in that movie. I feel like there's a lot of movie snobs. I'm not one of them. I am a movie snob, but I'm not one of the movie snobs who goes, how could you say that Blade Runner 2049 has the best cinematography? It like came out couple years ago. And name a movie with better cinematography. It's really hard to. And all of the nice shots and stuff like that aren't just pretty for the sake of being pretty. They actually really match the tone and help elevate the storytelling. Blade Runner 2049 is the first thing that pops into my head when I think of good cinematography. Some other ones with great cinematography, I had a whole list. Obviously, Tree of Life, that's just like ethereal cinematography. Parasite had brilliant cinematography, in my opinion, but it also had brilliant set design. That house apparently wasn't even a real house, if I remember correctly. I don't know if I'm totally lying through my teeth right now, but I heard that. Okay, 2001: A Space Odyssey had some of the best cinematography of all time. Game-changing stuff, brilliant wides, the planets, the spaceships, just kind of like, I don't know. It just really took its time. The soundtrack really elevated that too. 1917 had definitely noteworthy cinematography. Having that whole pseudo one shot is unbelievable. Oh, There Will Be Blood had brilliant cinematography. There were so many shots in that were just stunning, especially when the oil rig blew up. That was crazy. And it was just this epic wide, anamorphic. It was unbelievable. But a lot of the time with great cinematography, you shouldn't notice the cinematography. If you're watching the movie and you're like, damn, that's a great shot all the time, then you're not really paying attention to the story. You should have basically been immersed from beginning to end in the story, and then looking back when you're analyzing it, notice, I guess, that it had brilliant cinematography. Connor Stubbins says, Joey, are you a fan of mixed martial arts? What NHL team are you currently cheering for? I'm not like against MMA, but I'm not an MMA fan. I just don't really follow it, and it's not really my thing. If there's like a big fight and everybody's watching it and it's sort of like a cultural event, I'll definitely tune in. But by and large, I don't follow it. And then as for the NHL, I'm a diehard Habs fan. I basically don't watch any other team except for the Montreal Canadiens. And I am disappointed in them so far this year. They started off very strong, and I feel like they need to get their shit together. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about this on the channel. Maybe I'm going to make a Habs channel. I've actually debated making a Montreal Canadiens channel just talking about the Habs because I have a lot of thoughts. I've been a fan for my whole life, but I've been watching them actively for about a decade now. I've seen them in all sorts of states, and I have a lot of thoughts. Damn, a lot of people are just like commenting on the video, but not asking questions. They're just like commenting that they found stuff funny. Ask me more questions, guys. This is Joey Answers Your Questions, the show. You got to ask questions if there's to be any answers to the questions. Yeah. You guys just didn't ask any questions. That's it. You didn't ask any questions, so there's no questions to ask or answer. I can't speak. I'm just talking out of my mouth hole.
Shut your half-wit pie holes!
Without using my brain. Stuff's just leaking out. Yeah, I'm like actually looking for questions. Any question. Oh wait, hold on. I think I found one. There's one. Tegan says, here's a frickin' question.
This is great! Oh!
Hey Joey, I'm 13. I am from Myanmar and I play the piano. I am now feeling kind of guilty of a bad habit that I started doing back in 2019. Nobody knows I was doing that bad habit. How can I stop feeling guilty about it and move on with my life, no strings attached? Well, how do you feel about doing the habit? You are 13 years old, you play the piano, which is pretty cool, and you're from Myanmar, which is pretty cool. Did I pronounce that right? Is it Myanmar? I always mess that one up. But so it seems like you are feeling guilty and nobody knows that you're doing this habit, but you want to move on with the habit, continue doing the habit, but without the guilt, no strings attached. Maybe you have to ask yourself whether you should be doing this habit or if you should be focusing more on eliminating the habit, it's a bad habit, rather than eliminating the guilt. Because a lot of the time, guilt is a very useful tool. It's sort of like your internal moral compass being like, I shouldn't be doing this thing. Shame is a different thing. You probably shouldn't be carrying around a lot of shame because it's not that helpful. But guilt often is very helpful. So I feel like you have this narrative that perhaps you should be eliminating the guilt around doing a habit, but I would say leverage that guilt to try to find a strategy to quit this habit. You yourself have described it as a bad habit. So if it's a bad habit, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Also, potentially consider eliminating the fact that nobody knows that you're doing the habit. Maybe somebody should be made aware that you're doing the habit, maybe a close friend or somebody that you trust, and maybe they can have some advice for you. Maybe they have the same bad habit, and they can kind of help you figure out a game plan to move forward, because I don't necessarily think that you've jumped to the right conclusion. I would question that. Guilt is often a good thing, dude. Try to leverage it. Maybe you do just need to eliminate the guilt. Maybe what you're doing is normal. but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not good for you, and yeah, you should be eliminating the habit, not the guilt. So try to talk to someone, man. You'd be surprised how many people have very similar bad habits as you, or maybe it's not the same bad habit, but they also have a bad habit that they'll open up about if you tell them yours, and then you can help each other out, try to make yourself better. You know, sometimes improving yourself is about making yourself uncomfortable. Yeah, maybe that means sacrificing something that might feel good, but it's not good for you. So that's what I have for you, Tegan. Go forward with strength and courage, and sometimes you got to do the uncomfortable thing. And talking to somebody is often very, very, very uncomfortable, but it's the right thing to do. The choice is yours. We have Anthony says, question, can I ask a question? Thanks, Anthony. That's very, very helpful. Of course you can ask a question. Looking forward to your question in the next video. But other than that, that's all for today. Thank you so much for witnessing and listening to yet another episode of the show called Joey Answers Your Questions. The show, the late night version. And I hope to see you again soon. Make sure to ask questions in this comment section. Otherwise, I'll have nothing to answer for the next episode. Other than that, have a great day, great evening, great afternoon.
And good night.
And I'll try to heal up my freaking vocal cords, because even just doing this video is straining it, and now it feels like there's this, it's like rock hard. I have like a rock hard trachea, and it's not a good feeling. All right, Demetrios, knock yourself out with this.